finally I get to see this home that, you know, my great-grandparents grew up in, my grandparents grew up in, my mother grew up in, all my aunts and uncles who, you know, all immigrated from there to here to the US, and they always talk about this street and this home. So you finally get to see it. And it's a very exciting feeling. You know, finally I get to be part of this. Finally I know what they're talking about. And, you know, you get there and it's the shops underneath, you know, the kebabs are cooking and the hummus and the falafel and the car horns are going, and, you know, you hear it on the street all day. And just to finally see all that was pretty amazing. And the nice thing about it, you know, this is going back how old the homes are. My grandfather's family home and my grandmother's family home, both right across the street from each other on the same block. You know, it's funny to see how these two, you know, sometimes I try to envision what they were like when they were younger. You know, growing up, were they playing out in the streets? Is that how they first saw each other? You know, and then eventually, you know, obviously they were across the street from each other. Their families knew each other. So they got married and they had my mom. And then my mom grew up in that house for a little bit. And even growing up, I remember every year my grandparents would always go back. Every summer. There was never a summer my grandparents did not go back. And sometimes my mom would go with them, and, you know, we would stay with family or my brothers. And as we got older, we could stay by ourselves. And, you know, my grandparents always went back. My mother sometimes. But it was finally nice to be a part of, you know, the place that they always went back to every year.